Welcome everybody to another episode of We Are the Weirdos Book Club. I am your host. I am Brandon the Beldam. This is my lovely co-host Heather, Horhead
Hello.
Heather, and we were just we were just backstage, just talking, just getting the introductions and stuff aside. But again, just for our audiences, really quick, Heather, how have you been?
I've been all right. A lot better than the people in the book that we're about to talk about, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
On a scale of, 1 to 50th anniversary Hunger Games, I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
Well, we were just talking about this, but I'm tired from work and I'm tired of this heat. I'm so ready for it to be autumn already. Yeah. I get so mad during this time of the year because it's so hot.
Yeah, the heat makes you crazy. It makes you ignorant. It makes you rage quicker. So,
Right.
true that. Yes.
And before we get started talking about this month's book, I guess I should tell you that I haven't decided on our August pick yet, but I will.
Okay.
Probably tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, no worries.
And and we got our first commenter.
We have someone here?
Yeah,
This
someone.
early? Oh my gosh, John. Hello, my friend. You are the bomb. I don't have a Mountain Dew. I have an Alani. But cheers, my friend.
Thank you for stopping by. We really appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so see if I can make this full screen. I don't know if we'll be able to see the comments, but if they come in, we'll reply to them after we kind of wrap up our thoughts on it.
Yeah, I never can see them on my end, so if you see them, let me know.
So this month's book was Heather's pick, and we are returning to the world of the Hunger Games with the latest in the series, The Sunrise on the Reaping.
Yes. Did you get the paperback, or is yours hardback?
I have the paperback. I thought when I ordered it, it was going to come into hardcover, and I was a little bit disappointed. But you know what? It is what it is. It's not like I'm mad about it. It's still the same. I wanted to get all the other ones in hardback so they would match up.
That's what I was doing. That's why mine is paperback. I waited a whole year and a half. This just came out Tuesday in paperback.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
I just got mine off of eBay.
Yeah. So yes, everyone, it's Sunrise on the Reaping.
I'm gonna close my door back there because the glare is bothering me.
Look, the sun is coming in.
Yeah,
Brandon has the sunrise in the background.
Fuck out. Lord, I can't stand this. Can't stand this heat. Sunlight, not for me. I'm a creature of darkness. I cannot stand heat. I can't stand sunlight. Which is ironic because this book is pretty damn near helpless.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you guys don't know what this book is about, if you haven't read the synopsis or something, this is Hamish Abernathy's Hunger Games story. And if you read if you know the original series, you know who Hamish is. So, um, like, I guess we'll just start with like the simplest stuff. Like, what did you think of the book overall? Like,
Oh my gosh.
did it live, did it really, sorry, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
No,
like,
go ahead.
did it live up to, I guess, like was solid, like the caliber of the original trilogy? Because I haven't read the Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes yet, even though I really
Hmm.
want to, especially after reading this book. I want to learn more about Lucy Gray's story
Right.
because she she is she's briefly mentioned in this book,
Hmm.
and this is like I don't know how long that this book takes place after like the Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes.
Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was the 10th
Okay,
Hunger Games. So it was very early on. President Snow was not President Snow. He was 18 years old, about to start college. So,
okay,
and this book is 40 years later, so he's 58. My Hunger Games lore is I saw the movies first as they were coming out. I saw Hunger Games and Catching Fire when it released to DVD. I was able to catch Mockingjay Part 1 and Part 2 in theaters, and then saw Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I didn't actually read the books until we went over the Hunger Games last year, and then I read the whole trilogy, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and then I was able to read this last year when it came out. I love the original trilogy. Hunger Games, Book One, 5 star.
yeah,
Catching Fire, 5 star. Mockingjay, four and a half stars. Ballad of Songbirds, I really liked it. That one is kind of controversial. A lot of people don't give it 4 stars. This one, 5 stars for me. But this one, Sunrise on the Reaping, my expectations was I'm not much for prequels. Sometimes they give you answers to things you don't ask for, or they just do kind of fan service, or I don't know, it convolutes the story. This
yeah.
one doesn't do that. Perfect. My expectations were low, and then I read it. It's like it made the story come full circle. It's such a great addition. So that is my thoughts on it.
Yeah, you know, it's so hard to top the original trilogy because honestly, all three books, including Mockingjay, I
Hmm.
gave them all 5 stars.
Hmm.
I was just so taken aback by just, especially reading them as an adult. Like I read these books in high school, so I would say like around maybe I would say like maybe like sophomore junior year I read these books, and then wasn't able to see the first movie in the theater because of the you know, travel distance because we were living in a town that didn't really have a local theater. But I got to see Catching Fire and Mockingjay Part One in the theater, and then I saw Mockingjay Part Two a little like down the line. Um, I was just this world is just so it's so the way it's described it feels really real. Like it's a world that feels like it could exist, even though it's a world
Hmm.
that I doubt any of us would want to live in. This um utopian kind of society where like there's like a brutal like government who forces kids to kill each other and uh, for entertainment, and then just like all this other stuff going on. Like the way that Suzanne Collins writes this world, it's so intriguing and engaging, and And these books are just like they're young adult books, but they can read like adult books.
Hmm.
And um, this one feels like Suzanne Collins is kind of like she's aware that people who read the book, the original trilogy, when they were teenagers, are now like young adults. So she's kind of like aging up the story. She's kind of like aging up. She doesn't put like a lot of like sex and stuff in it,
Mm-hmm.
but she does like put. I want to say there's a little more. There's a lot more swearing in this book than there was in the previous books.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
can kind of see that she is like aging up the characters, but it doesn't feel like panderish or anything like that. I mean, there are Easter eggs in this book that connect to her like the past books. So it's not really necessary. You don't have to like read the original books to understand what's happening in this one, but it does help if you like read them and then you catch all the references to like characters that make appearances and like those who are mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would if someone has never read these books, I would encourage them to read the original trilogy first,
Mm,
and then Ballad, and then Sunrise on the Reaping. It makes a better experience the first
yeah,
time you read it. Once you know what's going on, I think it would be okay to then read them in chronological order, like Ballad,
yeah,
Sunrise, and then original trilogy. Because I don't know, it makes the characters um, better. Like they're more fleshed out if you read the trilogy first, and then they act a certain way, and then you go back and you kind of find out why.
yeah,
Just like with Hamage. Hamage is in the original trilogy, so he was 16 in this one, and then 24 years later, so he's a grown adult, and we first meet him, and he's pretty much this cynical, drunken man
yeah,
that has ties to no one, is a loner, doesn't want to help Katniss and Peeta, and he's a very like morally gray, morally ambiguous character. And this one does such a good job of telling you why he is like that.
yeah. So the book opens on Haymitch's birthday, which, of course, is also on Reaping
Damn.
Day. God, the freaking like the
What a
worst.
day.
That is got to be like the worst like day to be born on in this world. Like,
Mm.
but when I was reading it, I wouldn't say that Haymitch's story is identical to how Katniss was raised, because Katniss and Haymitch are completely different characters.
Hmm.
But you can kind of get like a sense of like they're cut from the same cloth.
Yes.
Um, and Haymitch, I think it's been a couple of weeks since I read this, so
That's okay. No, I agree. I think them living in District 12, even though this book is 24 years before Katniss's story,
right,
it's still, they're in the same situation. Like, they're all poor, they're all starving, they're working from, dawn until dusk. The all of them are coal miners. So most of them have had a parent, just like Katniss. Her dad died in an explosion. And Hamage's dad, he is no longer with them either. So all of them have very similar backstories of just being poor, a lot of sadness, doing the best that they can with what they've got. Like, it's just life is not full of joy for them.
no, they try to make it they try to make it the best way that they can, because even though they live in like terrible conditions, I think there's a lot of heart to Haymitch's and Katniss's family, because
Hmm.
um I forget what it's like Haymitch, I don't think he hunts like Katniss does,
No,
but
he works with
he sells like
bootleggers.
white liquor or something.
Mm-hmm. But doesn't drink it.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
And then he has like a deep like affection and like care for his mother and his little brother, much like how Katniss has with Prim.
Mm-hmm.
And I will like he also has like this love that he loves to be with. He's kind of like Lenore Dove, is her name,
Mm-hmm.
and he has like really obviously they're in love, and yeah, just like stuff that goes on, and just like you get a little bit more of a backstory with him and his upbringing and how he was raised, and it was just really like with the character like with Haymitch. I like really found his story really intriguing from like the little bit that we learn about him in Catching Fire. Like when they actually show him like show his games when they're
Yes.
going to the 75th. Is it
Mm-hmm.
the 75th or 74th?
Catching Fire the 75th. So every 25 years they do
Okay.
the quarter quell. So this is the second quarter quell because it's a 25-year anniversary.
Right. And the little bit that they revealed about his story in the Catching Fire about his quarter call, that was just like so. It was, I think it was like heart wrenching, but not to like the extent where it's like this book goes into detail about this book is motherfucking brutal,
It is so brutal. I think
so
it's
freaking
the most
brutal.
brutal one, the brutalest and the saddest.
Yeah, and it's also like the one where like I said, I don't know anything about like the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, so I don't know how the capital was back then. But in this book, they're even more fucking like sadistic and corrupt and even more like actually evil than they were in the original trilogy. And that's saying something. Like
Mm-hmm.
these like the capital in this one and like the people that are like but there's a character like what's I would call it like the Effie Trinket character in this, like
Oh,
the escort.
oh, Drusilla, which is
Uh,
actually Effie's sister.
yeah, Drusilla's. Yeah, I didn't share this. I did not get the same kind of warmth from her that I did from Effie as the series progressed. She
No,
is literally just. She does not want to be there. She doesn't want to take care of these kids, and the way they choose, Haymitch isn't even chosen to be like to
that
participate in the game.
was
The whole
wild.
thing was so like, oh my, oh my god, oh my gosh.
That was the first, like, what? Oh, yeah. So this is the second quarter quell. So
This is
every
just like a
year,
reaping.
yeah. So at the first quarter quell for the 25th Hunger Games, I looked it up and it was actually people voted which kids were going to be sent. That was something special for that one. This one, usually, they pick one girl, one boy. This
Right.
one, they're doing two. So in each district, they're sending four tributes. So you have, instead of 24, you have 48 people getting sent to the arena. So your odds of survival are even worse than what they
Yeah.
normally would be. But yeah, they pick a girl that's 13, Luella, and they pick a girl named Maisie, and then they pick Wyatt, and it was some other kid that got picked, and he said,
It
"The
was
fuck."
White Hallow or something.
Yeah, and he said, "The fuck I am getting drawn into this." He takes off running. They shoot him in the back of the head, and The only reason Haymitch got picked was because
Just
Lenore was trying to console the kid that got shot's mom, and she accidentally bumped into a peacemaker. So he intervenes to keep her from getting whacked with one of the guns. So they're like, well, you're getting picked. And
just yeah.
it's very interesting the whole time. This is like a reality show and it is entertainment for the Capitol. So you see throughout how heavily edited for TV it is. The Capitol
Mhm.
only shows what they want you to see. So they don't show
That's
this
a
kid getting
yes.
shot. They show just like Hamish name got pulled. Yeah, that was insane that he did not even
Yeah.
get picked.
And before the games, they just like they rig the whole thing like from the get go. They only
Mhm.
show you to make they show like they don't show the whole story, which is I guess like true to what reality TV is because it's not really
Yes.
reality. It's
Mhm.
like they edit it to make it look like things like all the pieces don't really fall into place unless it's like falling into place for them.
Mhm.
And so they don't show I don't they don't show like the execution of the cowboy, and they don't show like them hauling off Hamish like to the Capitol. I'm just like,
Yeah, that was like the first 5 chapters. I was like, man, that was unexpected.
it's like, yeah, how can it make this? How can it write this? How can it make this world go even darker than it actually started out as?
Mhm. Yeah. So, District 12, they don't have a winner of any of the Hunger Games yet. Well, they did. They had Lucy Graybeard, but no one's seen her for years. She's a mystery and kind of like a local legend. And so that's when they get introduced. They're just like, well, we'll just give you some mentors from the people that have won games before, even if they're not even, from your district. And so that was kind of fun because you get Mags, who we see in Catching Fire, but a young Mags. And we get to see Beatty. And like his story is really sad too, what the Capitol is doing to him. And
Mm.
then Wyrus, who, she was a nuts and bolts kind of cuckoo in Catching Fire, but she won the game before. And I thought her story was really redeeming because she won by just hiding. She never killed anyone. She hid. It was like this mirrors, and people were trying to get to her and they couldn't. So she won these games by shedding zero bloodshed, which I thought was so interesting because no one else has done that before.
Until Foxface and the Hunger
Mhm.
Games.
Right. Yeah, but she didn't win. So, but yeah, I was like,
She
that
could have.
is, she could have, yeah, eat the wrong berries.
Mm.
Yeah, so they're on the
So
train and they're going. And they have like the Olympics, the opening ceremonies, and the training.
and we get the very first death. Well, actually, no, the second death before they reach the arena,
Hmm.
and it takes place during the chariots opening.
I know. It's like we haven't even gotten to the games yet, and they're
Right,
already killing people.
like the most. I mean, the brutality in this book, the brutality in these books are really nothing new, but yeah, just like something about like character. He's like, okay, like I had an idea of what this character was going to make it to the arena. They were going to kill them off, but I did not expect them to kill them off that quickly.
No, I thought she was going to be like the Rue character because, she was 13 and it was Haymitch who he called Sweetheart, and it was kind of gonna be like Katniss helping Rue in the arena, like they had a alliance together. So I was like, okay, that's the only thing about this book is like, okay, we know Haymitch is gonna win because we've seen the original, but like you kind of forget that for a little bit when you're
Yeah.
getting introduced to the characters. Like something's gonna happen to all these people. It's just a matter of when.
Sorry. I don't mean to keep like jumping around to like because
I don't know. You're good.
there's like a lot that happens in these
There,
books.
it does. It happens a lot and it happens quick. Yeah, this was the moment that Luella, the horses got spooked. The carriages ran into each other, and Luella was knocked off. Haymitch thought he was injured because there was blood everywhere, and it was actually coming from her. She was killed pretty instantaneously, and it was his first. This was his like first defiant act, and I think this is the point in the book that really made him a mark for President Snow, was because he picked up um, Luella and carried her body and placed it in front of him and was applauding. And this is all, being broadcast. So the people are struggling to try and edit this. But this is when President Snow really has it out for Haymitch because he is a rebel and like a threat to the system.
Yeah. And then there was that scene where he had a meeting with Haymitch. President Snow did.
Mm-hmm.
That was really interesting. That was a really like tense scene. It was like it was just like the scene. Well, like not quite the same, but like it was the scene in the opening of Catching Fire where Snow has a conversation with Katniss about her. He was convincing her, um, like basically threatening the life of everyone she loved, if she did not like stamp out this spark that would ultimately become like an uprising.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like hard to like not like compare like Haymitch and Katniss's story because they're just so like intertwined with each other. But this is like
Yeah.
how Haymitch handled the games versus how Katniss like played them was like they're completely different. Um, I think she was just Haymitch is more. I mean, how would you describe his like whole? I thought he was just like an interesting character to follow, especially in his younger years. Because we're so used to seeing him as like you said, this like broken like alcoholic caricature.
Yeah.
And
I
then we
don't
see him.
he was like such a romantic, actually. Him and Lenore, they have this just like beautiful love together. And even though the situation is quite dire, it seems just as long as he has her, as long as he has his mom, and as long as he has his younger brother, they don't have things, but they have each other. And so I think that's what makes the book that much devastating is the love that he has for these three people that are the most important people in his life, and then the events that transpire.
Yeah. Um, so the book pretty much it goes the same. It goes the way you would expect if you know these books. Like Haymitch's he he goes to like the capital and then he does the training, etc., etc. And he has like the similar thing. He has like a similar beats because this is the fifth book in the series. Um, so I think Suzanne Collins she kind of like built up like I would say like a formula to it, but it's like they play out very the books play out very similarly. It's like Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and this all play very similar, and I'm pretty sure like the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes plays out that way as well. It's like you
Hmm.
get to these characters are reaped, and then they go on the train, and then we get to learn a little bit more about them and their strategy when they get to the capital, and then they go and have like their tests for to show like what their skill is, and it feels familiar, but it doesn't feel like repeated because these are all like completely different characters and uh, how they take into what's happening to them is completely like different. Like this isn't like Katniss and Haymitch both lose a lot in these books. People very, very dear to them as like the stories progress, and it is heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
just hard to like. It's really. I don't want to sound like, oh, this isn't like sad or anything, because like I'm not trying to be like a cynic about it, because it is like sad. Like how this freaking book was just like devastating to read. It was like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Poor Haymitch. He was just set up to fail from the beginning because you're like Hunger Games Katniss. Her score was an 11 out of 12. Haymitch, they gave him a 1. No one's ever gotten a 1. Even the 12 and 13-year-olds, they got at least a 3. So, I mean, Snow is just such a manipulative bastard man. He hates him. He's doing everything, to keep him from getting sponsors because no one's going to want someone that is a 1. They're not going to send gifts or help, especially if you're in District 12. So, I thought that was very interesting. So yeah, what Brandon and I were talking about before, the movie comes out November 20th, 2026 of this year. And just watching the trailer, I'm really excited because I think they
I will.
picked somewhere beautiful. The arena, every year it's something different. And this one is supposed to be the most beautiful, the most colorful, the most vibrant looking
Yeah.
arena, but it's poison and
Right.
lethal.
It
Like the air, the water, everything.
it looks the arena. It looks like a Candyland like AI version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you typed in like uh, build me like a Hunger Games arena, and then it would look like this. And there are like it looks beautiful, but there are death traps everywhere, which is pretty common for like these arenas, because it's not just like your fellow like competitors you're fighting against. It's also like the nature that the game makers put in these things, like whether it be like the wildlife or like they freaking they're just they're dicks about it because they want to do everything to get like to get all
There's
these kids
these.
like murdered.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but I was just like, that's really interesting to see what they can come up with like how these um, arenas are, because in the first book, it's obviously the arena was like a wooded area. It was like
Mm-hmm.
surrounded by forest. Second one, it was like an island, the kind of thing that was like um, which it's revealed that the island is actually the arena is just a giant clock,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was really clever. And then
And
the
it was
third,
just past victors. That was the whole
right,
thing with that one was you had to have been a winner before.
right, yeah. And the third one was the capital itself.
Nothing. Yeah.
They were like fighting through the capital, and there was like all these traps that the capital kept like putting upon these the rebels. I was like, damn, these freaking books, they go dark, man.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I haven't read the fourth book yet again, but I understand that since it was very, very, very early in the games, the arena is a little bit more primitive. It's just
Yes.
it's
They didn't
literally
build
just like,
it.
huh?
They didn't build it. They just the first 24 games, they just dropped them off at a pre-existing location. So the 25th one was actually the first arena that they built and made it more grand. The 10th Hunger Games, the tributes were treated like crap. They weren't put on a special train. They weren't given food. They were put in a boxcar with bats and dropped off at a zoo where they were pretty much starved. It's very interesting to see where it started and like they were figuring it out, trying to make people care more about it and go from there. So yeah, I'm interested to see what you think of Songbirds and Snakes because it is the same formula, but things are different.
That's probably the earliest that we'll ever get to see from this world. Like,
I think so.
I would like to see, like, I hope that Susan Collins keeps writing books in general. I mean, I will read that. I will read anything that woman writes, obviously.
Yeah.
But with these books, I don't know how far in the past like she can go, like where it doesn't start to feel like gimmicky or kind of forced.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to like maybe like she said that she says she only writes these books when like an idea comes to her that she really wants to like explore. Um, I think it'd be interesting to see maybe like what the Dark Days were like.
Yes.
Maybe like the very very first Hunger Games.
Yes, I want to see the war, what the Dark Rise, what the uprising was trying to
Yeah.
do and
What
why
was
they started the Hunger Games in the first place.
yeah? Well, we know why they started the Hunger Games
Yeah.
at all. I mean, but yeah, I can understand what you're saying. Like, I just want to see more. I want to see more from this world. I don't want it to stop because she it's like she goes into hibernation or just like she just kind of like disappears after she comes out with a new book. I'm
Yeah.
just like the the original trilogy came out between like 2008 and 2010,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes came out in like 2018, and this came out last year.
2020. Yeah, because there was
Was it
5
2018 or
books.
2020?
So I think it was 2020. Yeah, because there's like 5 years between these ones.
Yeah, and then this one came out like last year, so she writes another book. It's probably going to be. Hang on.
Yeah, might be in 2030.
What are you doing? Having my book club with my friend Miller.
Oh, do you want to try this? Do you want a coffee?
Um, no thanks. I already had coffee earlier.
He's maxed out on his coffee.
Huh?
I said you're maxed out on your coffee.
For real. I feel like I'm gonna crash. Okay, so
I didn't really write down much of the actual games. I just kind of wrote notes down for before and after because the games, you can imagine, they've got, genetically engineered animals, poison, the deaths are brutal.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really have a lot written down for that. Just the ending of it.
I think when it comes to these books, there's only like two main things. Like, well, not two, but like, there's a few main things like noteworthy of talking about. Those are how great the characters and how complex they're written, the games themselves, and then the politics of this world. Like, those are the three main like talking points about why this series is so engaging.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just like you said, like I hope that Suzanne, like, she writes another book. My hope is maybe within like the next like 5 years or so. 3 years would be better. I just I want her to like I just want her to keep writing stories. I don't want her to stop. Even if it's
Yeah.
just like she just wrote for two. Even if she's just known for two series, it's this series and the Gregor the Overlander series.
Yeah, she's got good quality books, so I will read whatever she puts out.
Maybe your next book will be something completely unrelated to Hunger Games. Maybe it's going to be like a completely new idea. Maybe, if anything, since these are young adults, she's written for children. She's written for young adult. Maybe her next novel could be like a straight up adult book.
Mm-hmm.
Even though these books are like high quality and they have like a lot of adult themes worth discussing. But yeah, this book was so. There's so much. There's like so much in this book. Like, it's emotional as all hell. It's like the. There's just so much. Like the way I haven't even talked about like Beatty's son.
Yeah.
How Hamish, like, he gave his promise to protect him and he couldn't. And the way he
that was
goes
the
out
thing
was absolutely. Huh?
that was the thing with Beatty, was the Capitol deemed him too valuable to kill, even though he was himself rebellious. He was just a genius and smart, and they wanted to use him in, making the games and keeping things on the up and up. But his punishment was putting his son in the Hunger Games and making him a mentor to him. So knowing that his son is gonna die most likely, that's what he told Hamish, was just look out for him and, you know, hopefully his death will be quick. Not too painful and not lingering. And this kid's like 12 or 13. And he's super smart too. But I was like, Snow is just so cruel. He is terrible.
Yeah. There's just, oh my god. I'm so curious to see how they're gonna do these like um mutations like visually in the new one, in the next one. Like, they did a pretty good, like, they did a good job with like the mutations and the catching fire, like the Jabberjay sequence.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was pretty much how I pictured it in the book. And then with this book, there's you wouldn't think, just by hearing like what kind of creatures that the creatures that these game makers or the Capitol like come up with, but when you really like see them in action, it is freaking terrifying. Like, they got like cannibalistic squirrels. They got ladybugs.
The ladybugs
that are freaking like, they're essentially ticks. They they suck your blood if they get on you, and then they pop like gushers. And then there's like mutated bats and just like
flamingos.
The flamingos, a freaking like hedge maze. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, and they specifically made some of them to target certain tributes. So once they got your scent, they went for you specifically. It's like you were marked.
Right. And like you said, the whole layout of this arena, it's pretty much, it looks like a paradise, but it's full of thorns.
Mm-hmm.
It's sparkly glass like, it's a sparkly glass like environment, but it's also kind of like it's like a Garden of Eden, like, essentially. It's so beautiful, yet it could kill you. They can't drink the water because the water itself is poisoned.
Right.
Oh.
I like that. It's like the Garden of Eden, and President Snow is the sneaky snake in the garden. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, after I finished reading this book, I immediately watched the trailer for the movie, because I don't like to, like, when I'm reading books, I don't really like to, if I know if a movie is coming out or like based on said book, I don't like to have like the actors that are portraying the characters, and like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't like to picture the actors like as I'm reading the book. I like to have my own imagined sure what these characters would look like, but just like the freaking just like the original trilogy, the casting for this movie is
Yep.
wow,
Fantastic.
so good, so good. They got I'm just like gonna take a second to like just gush about the casting in this movie, just for the trailer. I'm just gonna say like the casting of Jesse Plemons as Plutarch,
Mm-hmm.
perfect. That is such a good casting choice, and then because he not only looks like a younger version of uh,
Yeah, it's like I know who you're talking about. I don't know.
I know what I'm trying to think of. Like I'm trying to think of his name. Like he was such a great actor, and then literally his like Francis Lawrence is directing this movie, and he directed like the last 3 movies, and then Seymour Hoffman. That's what I'm thinking of. Like he played like Plutarch in like the previous movies before his sad death, and then he like Francis Lawrence like he worked with him, and then he worked with his son in the Long Walk, and Jesse Plemons like playing a younger dad was just like is such a good casting choice. I would have loved to see like his son take on the role of like Plutarch. I think that would have been a little weird for him because that was his dad's performance, and his dad has passed away.
Yeah.
And it's just like I understand, but it's just like great casting. And then you got like Ellie Fanning playing a younger Effie Trinket. That's also great casting. Like it's and then you got like Lord Voldemort himself playing President Snow in this.
I know.
I was like, that is such.
He plays a great villain, you know.
He does. Whether it's like Lord Voldemort, he played Hades in like the Clash of the Titans movies.
The Menu.
And then now he's playing like Snow.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Fiennes is just like he's such a chameleon actor. It's just like, oh my god, I cannot wait to see it because it's hard to follow. With the original trilogy, it's so hard to follow because those are just like gigantic actors. You got like Donald Sutherland played Snow in the original trilogy, and then again you got like Philip Seymour Hoffman playing Plutarch. It's just like it's hard to follow those kinds of acts, but you got like great actors to play these characters. So
yeah, they're set up great for success. I have all the faith in the world in the movie.
I will too. I'm just so excited. I haven't even like. I still need to watch like the Ballad movie and read the book before the new one comes out. But I'm like, I have high hopes that this movie is going to be amazing.
It is.
It's got like It's got like an almost like 70s look to it too. I don't know if it's gonna be like. Would they really take that step forward and make this like the first like R-rated Hunger Games, or would it still be like PG-13? Because they did do a lot with the PG-13 rating and the original movies, and those turned out really good.
Yeah, there's really, for as brutal as they were, there's really not a lot of blood in them.
No, it's more
like,
of the it's like the psychology.
Yeah, the sound effects.
It's
like crushing, cutting away, more implied. But yeah, they're brutal, but it's kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. There's not a lot of blood in it. It's more of like theater of the mind and what you imagine.
In that regard, these books are absolutely horrifying because you picture like it's different when you read a book versus when you watch the adaptation. You get to see like in detail the descriptions of like these horrific deaths and how this world looks, and it is terrifying.
Mm-hmm. How much of the ending do you want to talk about, or do you want to leave that one? Wait till people watch the movie first.
I feel like we just like did we give like a clear idea of like what we liked or didn't like about the book, or do we kind of just talk about it? because they're just
I
like
think
it's
so.
like you said, it's like it's definitely like it's definitely worth a read. This whole
Mhm.
series is a read because it's just like so intriguing. Um, the ending was mm, like I want to say it's like right up there with the ending of Mockingjay.
Oh my gosh. So, I don't know. It hit worse. Mockingjay ended on a better note because it was the end of the Hunger Games. This one, the part that I'll say because the movies and the other books are out was Haymitch is living in the Victor's Village alone. When Katniss and Peeta win the
Yeah.
74th Hunger Games because like he said to them in Catching Fire, you don't ever get off this train. This man has been living alone in the Victor's Village for 24 years. Every year, he's had to train and be a mentor to two kids, and none of them can make it. So every year, he has to get close, take these kids on the train, go to the Hunger Games, be at the ceremony, and then watch them die for 24 years until Katniss and Peeta show up. So, and then of course it's on his birthday. So
Yeah.
it's like there's nothing for him to celebrate anymore. So he goes from like this 16-year-old who doesn't drink, who works hard, who's completely in love to this like cynical, broken survivor that really doesn't care. Um, but he's got like a kernel of hope that keeps him going.
Yeah.
Every year it's like maybe this year will be different. This year might be the year. So as devastating as this book is, there's always a little hope in it. Like he could not win and break the cycle of violence that is the Hunger Games, but he knows someone in the future will eventually. So he's going to keep fighting until that happens.
I think you hit the nail on the head with this whole idea of these games and this government. Even like in the midst of like this great like this cataclysmic darkness that these books are like forced to endure within this world. I would say that there is always like a just like a little glimmer of hope. There is that light at the end that it's gonna be like, okay, you got stuff to deal with. You gotta deal with like you gotta fight for survival, and you're gonna come out of this feeling like a completely different person, for better or worse. Like everyone who participated in these games, whether they lost their lives or they lost someone they loved, it's like you gotta you gotta carry that for the rest of your life. It sucks. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
She writes with such raw like ferocity and like how these characters are, you know, how they're carrying themselves. I mean, literally in the closing chapters of Mockingjay, Katniss literally just wants to commit suicide because the burden of everything that has transpired, because she's lost someone very important to her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, these books do not hold back at all. I mean, they force you to feel what these characters are feeling, which is a good sign of like good writing. I mean, if you didn't really care for these characters, or if you just you felt like indifferent to like what happens to them, it wouldn't really be that effective. But you do care about these characters, um, what they're going through, and how much they're willing to lose, and like everything they're fighting for. And
Yeah.
god
Yeah.
damn, does Hamish lose so much at the end of this book?
Yeah, I think out of everyone, I think he ends up losing the most.
Yeah.
Maybe with the exception of Johanna, but we don't know her backstory.
Of who?
Just because Johanna,
Oh,
Johanna, just because in Catching Fire, she said the capital, they've killed everyone I love. There's nothing else they can do to hurt me. Everyone I love is dead. So she doesn't care anymore. So
I would love to like have a book focusing on their Johanna or maybe Finnick and Annie story.
oh man,
That
Finny.
would have been that
Ah,
would be like those have been like really good. Like I wanted to be like a legit uh I
those
just
would
want
just be so just I say that to gross to read about just because both of them were involved in sex trafficking.
nah.
Finnick, so that would add just a whole nother level of, violence. And then you've got this that, they're being prostituted to all these rich people as young adults. But yeah, those would be very interesting stories to read about as well.
They would. She writes this she does like these prequel like this is the only prequel I've read by her, but there's nothing that really like counteracts or like how Haymitch, you know, as he feels like a different character in this book than when we meet him in like the in Katniss and Peeta's games. He's got like you understand now like why he is the way he is
Yeah,
because
they're
he's lost
broken down.
so much. He's literally alone until the Katniss and Peeta story comes into play. And I do love like the little like references to Katniss and like her, but they're just like mentioning her, like her dad, and like Mitch mentions him. I
Yeah,
think they're like semi like formal friends. I think are
I
they like
think.
they're mutual, you know?
Yeah, or their parents worked together because all of them worked in the mine. So they are either neighbors or friends. I know Katniss's mom was friends with Maisie and her twin sister, the girl that got reaped. So yeah, I mean, it's a small place. So it's not like they don't, no one ever really marries outside their district, but they, will keep you they encourage you to marry and have children because obviously they have to keep the workforce going to
Yeah,
support the government.
right.
Not like it's out of the goodness of their hearts, but they need
No,
more
they want that
workers.
freaking no, they want those like they want those tributes because they want the
Hmm.
offspring so they can put more people in the games. But Katniss did say in the very first book that she would never have children, and at the end of the book, at the end of Mockingjay, her and Peeta they do have children together.
Hmm.
Granted, it did take it did take Peeta years and years and years of asking her children until she finally like gave in to him.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an important detail, but just like it's worth mentioning.
Hmm.
So, I think we were just talking for like an hour about this book. We didn't give too much away. Kind of got like the basics of like. I mean,
Yeah.
this book is so like, and this book is just so it's worth a read, man.
Yeah.
I really liked
It's
it.
easy. It's easy read too. It's a fast paced book. It's action packed. You've
Yeah,
got really good characters. You've got a strong villain. You've got strong protagonists. It's just excellent writing, vivid descriptions. I mean, I have nothing negative to say about this book.
I'm trying to think if I have any cons with it. It's like nothing really stood out to me. It's like saying, "Oh my gosh, why did they have to put this in there? Why did this have to happen?" I think it's a really well written book. It's like
Hmm.
it is hard to follow up on that original trilogy. Like, how do you like taught that, especially when you're like writing a prequel, focusing on one of the like I want to say like the side-ish characters,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to make that story really engaging. And she managed to do it. So I really like. Um, I thought it was like really satisfying. And
Yeah, I did too.
I hope that she writes more. I just hope that she writes more books. She doesn't stop. Just don't make us wait like another 10 years for whatever your next book is gonna
For the
be.
next book.
I'm like, I will obviously I'm gonna read it, but do we have to wait that long for the next one if there is gonna be a next one? She's like, she's I don't know if she's like I'm just like living off the royalties of the movie, so
I think she writes it when she has something to say.
yeah. I think
Which,
she said that in the afterward.
yeah, I appreciate that. So she's
I mean,
like
yeah,
passionate about it, making
it,
sure it's good quality.
it
I was like,
is
we're just
like
greedy and want more because,
I just don't I like you say I understand why, but at the same time it's just like uh it's like their books are so addicting. Like I don't want her to write like a piece of crap just because just I don't want her to write something that just like slaps the Hunger Games name on it and just like calls it a day and collects a paycheck. I don't want that. But I want to read more about this world. I just finished like I just reread like the first three books, and then this one I still have to read the ballad, and then what do we do then? Do we just wait for the next one to come out?
yes, we enjoy the movie and we compare it to the book, and then maybe she'll have a surprise announcement next year or something. Like, hey, guess what? I'm writing.
I'm writing a new book.
It'll be out in a couple of years.
Whatever. We waited freaking. We were forced to wait like a year when the Heroes of Olympus series was coming out after like the third book had this like huge cliffhanger, and then the second book as well. But we can. It sucks, but we can wait. So yeah, excellent book. Excellent book. Really liked it. I mean, it's hard to say like if someone asked me like what is your favorite like book series or book of all time, it's hard. It's a impossible question to answer because I've read like, and I'm pretty sure you have too. Like reread like so many like great books. It's hard to pick one. I mean, unless you have like a definitive like number one favorite book.
No, I don't. That would
I mean,
be a hard thing to do.
yeah, like feel the same way. I think it was I think it was a lot easier when I was in high school because I probably would have said, well, um, I think The Hunger Games is probably my favorite book of all time. Um, I can't I can't definitively say what my favorite book is now, even though there are tons of like books I give 5 stars to.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This series, I would probably say it would be in my favorite series of all time just because the consistency with the books is so good. Because, if you read series, sometimes you'll have like a 5 star and then like a three for a
I
couple of books in the middle, and then
I
the
literally
ending
just saw
raise it.
I just saw your reel. You were talking about the was it the Crush series that we did?
Yeah,
Great.
the Crave series. I finally had 2 books left, and I was like, I'm gonna finally finish them. And I was like, yeah, that one was purple like this. So the 2 books that I've read in August have been purple, which is funny. But yeah, that one, I mean, she pumped those books out. There's 6 of them, and she pumped them out between 2020 and 2023. And the last one, you could tell, was super rushed.
Mm,
Because, like, I gave Crave a 5 star, Crush a 5 star, The third book, Covet, was a 3. The fourth book, Court, was like a 3.5 to a 4. Solid ending. Then she wrote the fifth one. It was great. And so I was super excited. And then reading the last book, I was like, this is trash. I'm so mad.
Like good trash or bad trash?
No, it was bad.
Oh
I don't
no.
know. Like, I don't read a lot of series like that. And ending on such a low note, just, I'm not going to let the
No.
last book taint my love for the first 2, especially. But there,
True.
you know, you should have a conclusion. And we're spending 50 to 60% of the book just talking and getting a plan going, and I'm like, no, there needs to be finality here.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, solid series. There's not a bad book in the 5 of them.
I agree with that. Like I still have one book left to read.
Yeah, out of the ones
Well, I
you've
just
read.
maybe
So.
that's the one. Yeah, maybe that's the one who that will be like, well, okay, maybe this isn't like a perfect series. Out of like the 4 though, these are all like 5-star books.
Mm-hmm.
Even like I get what people like critiques with like Mockingjay, and like some people just don't really like it. I thought it was just even if like this book and like Ballad didn't exist, if it was just a trilogy, I would have been totally satisfied with that. Because all 3 books were just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mockingjay gave me like it gave me the ending that I wanted. Kind of like I don't know, just because it's because people like half the book takes place in District 13, which I guess isn't really that exciting of a place to stay in for very long. I mean, Catching Fire, we spent a good chunk of that book in District 12 as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it was never boring. There was never a dull moment. It was always like ongoing, and there was always something happening. And Mockingjay, yeah, it's just like it's kind of the same thing. We're in this bunker for the majority of this book until without like well, they go to like other districts because they have to do like propaganda stuff for like as they're like fighting off the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last like third of the book takes place in the Capitol itself as they're like trying to assassinate Snow. And then it gives us that freaking downer of an ending.
Yeah.
Book.
Yeah.
I'm glad I read these. I reread these books. I took a break from them because I knew it was like, okay, I love these in high school, but I wonder if they're gonna like hold up if I read them as an adult, and they are actually a lot better than I remember them being. They were already great. They were already great. I mean, but they just like with age, I realized I learned a lot more about like especially how it kind of parallels our own like modern times, you know?
Right.
Like she could it was almost like Suzanne could like see into the future of like where things were gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any closing thoughts?
I do not. Like I said, I think that's all I put in my review was President Snow is a bastard man and I am unwell. So I was like, I was just shocked and awed, and my flabbers were gassed. So it's a fantastic book.
My flabbers were gassed. I'm like, I would wear that on a shirt.
Yep.
Maybe a sticker.
Mm-hmm. I think that's where I've seen it, so it stuck with me.
Okay, so I don't have like I said, I don't have our next book picked out yet, but Heather already picked out her book for September.
Yes. Fantastic Land. I forget the author. But it's like a hurricane book in late August, early September during hurricane season. It's kind of Lord of the Flies esque.
Mm.
What happens when a hurricane hits this carnival or amusement park and people get trapped there, how fast they turn on each other and descend into madness.
Okay, so keeping in the theme of the Hunger Games, it is also about a group of kids who have to fight each other to survive.
Well, they
But
don't have to, but yeah, I think they choose to.
that's pretty much all I know about it. Like,
Yeah, I was like,
I know
saw
I know it takes place in an amusement park, and so it's just kind of like thinking it. Okay, it's kind of like Kristen White's book Hide. It's like a game of hide and seek
maybe.
that
Yeah.
takes place inside of a theme park, but it's like a game too. It's like a competition.
Mm-hmm.
So why that particular book?
I own it, so I was like, what do I have and what is a good theme for September? I was like, hurricanes, water. I was like, I don't know. I'm feeling this, so.
Well, I was trying to find like a theme. I was trying to find like a connective theme to uh, August for the book that I want to pick. Still haven't like I have to pick something.
I was like, it's August. It's your birthday month, so you can pick whatever you want. So last year we did Terrifier 2. I thought you were gonna pick Incidents Around the House before Other Mommy comes out.
I have that one.
I was like, that's what my brain went to. I was like, I'm gonna guess. I was like, I think he'll pick that one.
Maybe.
Yeah, I was like, that's just
I want to.
because
I do want to pick something that came out this year.
something that did come out this year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because we've been reading a lot of books that came out like previous years. So I don't recall. I was like, I don't recall like us picking a book that specifically came out this year.
Nothing Tastes as Good came out this year.
Did it come out? Did it come out last year?
I think it came out like a month before we actually had book club. Like it was super new because both of us were excited about it. I think it came out in March and we had book club in May on it. Unless I'm thinking of something else.
I'm looking this up real quick.
Yeah, let's see. The Winter People, that was an older backlist one. Half His Age was a newer one.
Oh yeah, you're right. Half His Age came out this year.
I'm pretty sure Nothing Tastes as Good came out.
Oh my god, you're right. It did come out this year.
Yeah. Coffin Moon, I think that came out 2024, 2025. Yeah, we've got a good variety of backlists and newer stuff.
We just like to keep it with the theme of we'd like to keep it with the theme of like just the book has to have some kind of like weird element to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been reading a lot of well, not a lot of like I've been kind of dipping my toe into like the romance genre too.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I read two of Emily Henry's books just in the last month alone, and I loved both of them.
Yeah, I've heard she's a good one.
She is like. I would be curious to like if you read one of her books, what you would think of it, and then I think in my mind, like I would want her to pair up with Rachel Harrison, so they can write. Maybe they could like write a story together, like
Hmm.
a super like a supernatural kind of romance thing. They both have like similar vibes when in their writing. Like they both have like these really quirky characters and then like really good writing. And it's just like
Hmm.
I want to. Every time they post something, I always like say, can you make this like can you make this happen? Like I would love to see you two just like it's nothing new. Like there are authors from like different genres that have like collabed before and they turned out like
Hmm.
great. They turned out some good stuff. So I would just like to see them just like come together and just like write something. I think it would just be like a real. I would eat that book up. I mean, like I would want that book so bad or something. Even if it's just like a short story, I don't care.
Hmm.
I will read it. I love like both the writing so much, and I know that I know that Rachel Harrison has a book coming out. I think this month or in September. It
Yeah, it's
was
either the very last week of August or the first week in September.
right. Um, but Emily Henry's book Lovers, which I'm dying to get to that one, is is coming out as a hardback, I think, on the 18th of this month, so Texas Chainsaw Massacre Day.
Oh, yeah.
And she, that's what I love, she has created a kind of like an intertwined universe with all her characters. So all her characters are, they all take place in the same world, but they don't really like interact with each other or anything. It's just like little Easter eggs.
Okay,
And I was just
yeah.
like, I I love that so much. I love when authors do that. They don't specifically have to have characters like in the same room together, but just if they give you like little Easter eggs or references to say yes, all these stories take place in the same world. I love that, and I just want to go through like her backlog and just read all her books so I could catch like all the Easter eggs because
Hmm.
I just like the last two I read were more or less like her recent ones that came out like within the last like few years or so. So
Yeah, I think if I were to read her, I would probably start at the beginning and work up. Although I am interested in the People We Meet on Vacation, just because that's a Netflix movie
yeah,
that came out. So I was like, well, I would rather read the book first and then watch the movie. So,
that's what I'm gonna do. So excited. I still have to read I have to read like Rachel's other books as well. Still have to read So Thirsty, and then I would think I might reread Such Sharp Teeth and Black Sheep.
hmm,
I want to get excited for her new book to come out.
yeah, I think I'm going to try and read So Thirsty in September. I've seen like a book tag going around last year. A couple people do like Vamp Timber. So you just read or
Vampire.
watch. So you just read or watch like vampire books or movies. So I have to have So Thirsty and Midnight Sun, the last Twilight book to read, just to finish that series out for September.
I have to read Breaking Dawn, and then I have The Short Life of Bree Tanner on
Yeah,
Typed Out
that one.
Library.
Yeah,
And then I
yeah,
might
that
read,
one too.
and then I might if my library can get like copies of the other books, I will definitely read them just to like complete the whole Twilight saga. And I still have to watch Breaking Dawn's parts 1 and 2 as well. It's my first watch of the Twilight movies as well as reading the books.
Mm.
I still think that the first one has the best vibes. I love the look of the first one.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay, so I think we're going to end the live stream here unless you have like final anything finally you wanted to say, because I don't.
I do not.
All right. Well, if you guys are watching the replay, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Let us know what you think of our little book talk. And next month, we have nothing. I have nothing like picked out yet, but when we decide like what book we would read, we will let you guys know as well. So
Yes.
until then, I am Brandon the Beldam,
Yes, I am Forehead Heather.
and we will see you on our next club, or We Are the Weirdos Book Club.
Yes.
Have a good night,
Goodbye,
guys.
weirdos.
Do